Joining me on the phone right now, Dr. Robert Steele, who is a candidate for the Michigan 15th District, a seat that's currently been held by a member of the Dingell family since before there was a Congress, I think. The current sitter, John Dingell, has been there since 1950-something, 55 years. Doctor, thanks for joining me this morning. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you. You're showing your age a little on that David Bowie there, but the song was appropriate because after 55 years, we've got a big change coming.
Boy, no fooling, and it's about time. Listen, I know I know the numbers have been pretty good for you. I understand that your campaign has sent out a press release that says you're actually in the lead right now, according to an unnamed poll. How much stock are you putting in those kind of things at this point as we get near the end of the race?
Well, the polls have been all over the place, frankly, and I think the most important poll obviously will be November 2nd, but we have incredibly motivated volunteers, and everywhere we go, we hear great acceptance. The ticket, with Rick Snyder at the top is very strong, and down in the other more local races, in the state Senate, state House, county commission, we have fantastic races where the people on the Republican ticket are running extremely strong, and we feel that it's extremely close either way. So I'm not worried about whether we're up or down a little in the poll. Everybody needs to go out and vote, and stay motivated about your grandkids' future and the opportunities being maintained here in this great country.
Yeah, well, and that's the key. And I think a lot of people, your race up there and the race down here for our Senate seat held by Ms. Capter, are really similar in that you and Rich Iyer are both just coming out of nowhere. I mean, you just all of a sudden decided, I'm going to get into politics, and you're both going up against candidates who have been there for years and are using that, of course, seniority as some kind of springboard. But the fact is, if the Republicans get enough seats in the House, they'll be the ones with influence, and that seniority won't be worth squat when you get right down to it. You'll actually have a little more pull than John Dingell if Republicans take over.
Well, you are exactly right, and it's been a little frustrating, obviously, since the world is set up for the incumbent and big businesses and people with contracts with the government. They would prefer to deal with the same person. They don't want to have to deal with somebody who wants to come and upset the apple cart.
Yeah.
I hear all the time about, he's so powerful, but unfortunately the data has been he might have been powerful for his position in the country, but it wasn't powerful or wasn't used anyway for the state of Michigan or the 15th District. We've suffered horribly under the policies of John Dingell and his friends in Washington, D.C., and that's what we need to do. We need to keep that money here in the 15th District, and as you know, it borders a big chunk of northeast Ohio there, and when the economy grows on one side, it'll grow on the other, and we need to keep that money into the local economy instead of some marble building and an unelected bureaucrat in Washington, D.C.
I'm all for that. We're talking with Dr. Robert Steele, who's running against John Dingell for Michigan's 15th Congressional District, hopes to go to Washington, D.C. soon. Got to ask you about this ad. I was just looking at it. Comes off your website. It's a CBS report about John Dingell's conflict of interest when it comes to the auto bailout. A lot of people down here, of course, are supportive of it because it kept some jobs up at the Jeep plant. But this thing is pretty devastating about the number of dollars that went to Mr. Dingell. And I didn't realize that apparently his wife, Debbie Dingell, was involved in General Motors?
Yeah, she's actually part of the Fisher family, Body by Fisher. And, so she's had, of course, ties to GM going way back. Now, that ad, of course, if you see that, somebody sent that over to us. That's not part of our campaign. We didn't make it. We don't have anything to do with it.
Oh, yeah, it's not an ad. It's a CBS report. I mean, it's news. It's not somebody's ad.
Yeah, and I think it's older. I don't know exactly when that's from, but... Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on out there, and in fact, if Channel 7 last night and the Detroit News this morning, in fact, has an article about his ads against me and how basically there's not anything in them that's true, so that's going to be probably news today. But, the real thing here, obviously, the most important thing is that people just understand that, the way Washington is working now is borrowing 40 cents out of every dollar they spend is not a way that you can run your home, family, business, community, church, or nonprofit. The local governments don't get to do that. The state governments don't get to do that. And there's certainly no reason that we should have the federal governments borrowing 40 cents out of every dollar they spend. And, of course, that money is borrowed from one of two places, overseas, which then has us over a barrel, or our future generations that had no say in it. And it is not moral for us to be taking our future generations' opportunities away by putting them in the poorhouse before they have a chance to even look their own children in the eye.
Yeah, the amount of debt that each of us owes right now is just enormous, and that doesn't even look to the future as to what kind of debt our children will have. Well, it looks increasingly like there'll be a large number of Republicans going to the House. So that should favor you because obviously then the things that you'd like to get done, you'll have some help. It's not like, they can't accuse you of being a lone gun now and just one voice out of many. You'll actually have some people who possibly think the way you do if you get elected to Congress, right?
Well, absolutely. In fact, I was just reading about Tom Coburn, the senator from Oklahoma the other night, and he's a doctor, and he went to Congress in 1994, first time he'd ever run for office, just like me. He was going into a seat that had been Republican or had been Democrat for 70 years. And so his race and mine are pretty similar, actually, from his experience. But, yes, I believe there'll be 60 or more new people there. Plus, you take the young people like up here in Michigan, Mike Rogers and Thaddeus McCotter and some of the national people like Eric Cantor and Paul Ryan, and you're going to have a core people, a group of over 100 representatives that want to make some changes. They want solutions. They want accountability. They want the future generations to have the same opportunity that we've had to this point. And so I think you'll be able to see some stuff happen. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. The general election is next Tuesday, of course. Now, even before the general election happens, the Tea Party Express is coming your way. I believe it's going to be, is it this Friday up in Monroe, Michigan, right?
Yeah, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, the La Pleasance Road exit on I-75, Tea Party Express. I don't know the exact details of what they do, but I know it's a pretty big deal. They need a huge parking lot to fit all the trucks and coaches, so that's going to be a great event. We have another event Saturday afternoon at the Denison Theater in Monroe at, I think it's 4:30, and then, in fact, we have Bill Bennett, radio host Bill Bennett, coming to a private event in Monroe, or a Temperance area, on Friday night. And if people are interested in learning more about that, they can go, send an email to info@robsteeleforcongress.com. And, of course, every penny we raise still is going direct to voter education. So, if any of your listeners want to participate in increasing voter education, they can make a donation at robsteeleforcongress.com. But we've got great volunteers. I mean, the reason that the United States, the colonial patriots won the Revolutionary War is because they had highly motivated volunteers with a stake in the outcome, and they weren't hired guns. And that's what we've got, is incredibly motivated volunteers who are out there doing a fantastic job. And everybody's highly motivated to finish it out here through Tuesday.
Well, let's hope they do. There's a lot of them out there. Let's hope they all turn out to vote. RobSteeleForCongress.com is the website. Doctor, thanks a lot, and good luck on Tuesday.
Yeah, appreciate the time.
All right.
Day, and good luck with your elections down there over
and
the border.
And I'll tell you what, if you win Tuesday night, I'd like to talk to you Wednesday morning.
Fantastic. That'll be great. I'm off Wednesday, but I'm a citizen legislator. I'm working full-time from Thursday on, just like normal.
Excellent.